What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you for joining us here tonight on the Fanliest of Fridays.
It is a Fan Friday.
As we get rolling here, though, take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below.
Hey guys, it is Fan Friday, which means we're just like less than 48 hours away, less than 2 days away from our Dallas Cowboys playing Week 2 of the 2023 season against these New York Jets. They're going to be in their green uniforms. The only time they've been in the green tops, guys, has been one time the entire season last year. So, you know, a rare sight for the Jets, at least in recent years, to be in that green. Then we come into Big D with that green on. They're going to face that star. And we're going to talk about everything you see on that screen and more and beyond. Some matchups, very important key matchups to really victory. Injury updates, on and on like Donkey Kong. But before we get even going, we got to talk about the people that make the thing go here on My Cowboys Family on the nightly, the weekly, the monthly, the yearly, and beyond. Baby, let's shout out to this week's sponsor of the week, the great Mark Hovsepian, all the way from Hawaii.
A big mahalo to the man, Mark. Appreciate you, of course. Although the person currently bossing that stream around, as you can see up there, is Brandon James.
Yes.
Thank you so much, as he can't quite
94 points.
94?
Yeah, 94 points. Open number, I think, on our roster right now. Much love, Brandon, on that side. Also, you got the gifting membership champion, De Lunatic. Yes, much love to him.
Cowboys.
Yes, go Cowboys. The man in the lead now this week, though, it's the Don. Ron the Don Smith. So we'll see how that continues. He has 5 on it, 5 gifting memberships. Much love to Ron Smith. The only one on the board right now, actually, on the gifting side of things. And then if you want to look at the overall board right now, trying to go for that sponsor of the week, it's a guy who's actually right now in the lead on the Cash App board so far. The Cash App leader, the overall leader, David S.
Ooh.
Just bypassing everyone right now on that board.
He said, hold up.
Yeah. But we do have a tie for the current crown holder on the Cash App side. And it's split between Skeptical Fan and Snug X. You know why he's here. Snug X has 4 in a row, by the way. This is kind of like a 4.5 because he's holding up the crown with Skeptical Fan. So, hey, like we said, I don't know if it even matters anymore, but the next drop from either of these two this week in the Cash App puts them fully in control for the rest of the week. We're here at the weekend already, so I guess we got ourselves a split crown for 1 week here on MCF. But right now, the leader in full effect, David S., and he's trying not to look back on the overall board and the Cash App board. Much love to him on that. Much love to everybody here repping it on whichever board you're on. The drops of love and support. We can't do this without you all. But we also got to shout out, the fact that there's other ways of dropping the love here, not just the super chats or the gifting memberships, jumping in the membership or the thanks button. There's 4 other ways that kind of qualify in the Cash App crown side of things.
Of course, you have the Cash App money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
Yeah. So again, much love to everybody on any of those sides of things, and a big shout out, first and foremost, to the fantastic star. Ooh, I'm sorry, I almost messed up there. Fantastic star level membership. Appreciate you guys that are in that. We're gonna do the shout outs here in a minute, but it's a Fan Friday, so it's more than that. But again, once a month, anybody in the star level or the over everything level membership get a chance to win a Sewn and Stitch jersey from the man Cowboys Mosh. So again, a lot of different players to choose from, and I actually got confirmation that you can also grab baseball jersey if you want instead of a football jersey. You can go with a basketball jersey or a hockey. Different kind of jerseys pretty much should be available if you do want that instead of a Cowboys jersey.
It doesn't have to be a Dallas Cowboy jersey, but of course we
always prefer that.
We gently insist.
But yes, exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. So again, it's really any sport. So keep that in mind. You could always ask for something if you have a stock load of them, like Jason Renfro, for example, who wins a lot of jerseys. Maybe he wants to get a Mavericks jersey. You're welcome to get Sewn and Stitch Dallas Mavericks jersey. So anyways, just want to throw that in there for anybody in the star level, the over everything level. And speaking of those levels, let's shout out, baby, those that are in the top shelf membership right now. Let me put this back on there. The star level and over everything level. But also tonight, it's always Fan Friday. Once a week on Fan Friday, we shout out the silver, the star, and the over everything level. So, baby,
Ooh.
you have the duties. You have the task of shouting out the silver, star, and over everything level members.
A huge shout out to Marissa Sparkle. We have Dwayne Broussard, the top dog. Skeptical fan, always staying skeptical. Bobby Bottles, much love. Ron the Don Smith, the OG. We have Mary Alvarez, much love. Andy Potched, representing. Jason Renfro, much love to you. Of course, LC, representing from Australia. And Mr. A. Lavelle, thank you very much for representing. And, of course, over everything. Shout out to the man, Snug X. You know why he's here.
Yeah, again, he is representing in the over everything level. That's truly the new Top Shelf membership, first person in it. He will be appearing on the show, through a phone call throughout the show sometime in the next, 3.5 weeks or so. So looking forward to the Snug X appearance in that over everything level. So again, cleared all that up, guys. We are ready to rock and roll. Some Cowboy news, info, and updates. But first, who's in the house tonight rocking with us? My Cowboys family, baby. Who's ready to discuss some Cowboy news, info, and updates?
We have Mackenzie two times, who, by the way,
two times.
A very happy birthday to man, Mackenzie 2 times. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, man. Hopefully the Cowboys get you that dub for your birthday week.
That's the present we need to give Mr. Mackenzie two times. Appreciate you, man. Welcome in.
Rolando Rodriguez in the house. What's up? Xavier Hidalgo. Always go Cowboys. Jason Renfro. Much love to you. Happy almost birthday.
Almost here.
Shout you out on Monday. Retro Scotty in the house. And yes, I think most of us are hoping for some slightly better news there when it came to our O-line. But honestly, not really all that surprising, right? So, of course, skeptical fan always stays skeptical. Yes, 2 of the 3 shirts have been claimed. There's still technically one of the ladies' shirts that is up for grabs.
And in case you're wondering what they look like, I'm not sure which is the one that's still available. Do you remember?
No, I don't think there was a distinction there.
Oh.
So actually, that's what I'm saying. Off the top of my head, I don't remember which one it was. But I know, obviously, the men's shirt was claimed, and I know one of the ladies' shirts was. So.
And the hat, of course, is claimed. So we have one left. Much love, skeptical fan, for this a couple of weeks ago. This navy blue crew member. We actually got a special. We'll just do it on the day of the game. And we have a little, I think we're going to do a quarter by quarter raffle from Frank Moyer. So we'll discuss that later on.
So let me see. We have Tommy Montoya in the house. Much love. Snug X. You know why he's here. Haley94 Ware, hello and hi, and yes, we actually did get to hear from our captain. It's kind of funny. You're watching that winning time thing earlier today when we were having an early dinner, and one of the things that was kind of a parallel was, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was never much of a vocal, active type of leader, more the strong, silent type, right? But in his, end of his career type of thing, he ended up becoming a little more vocal, a little more involved in stuff. It's funny because we see Zack Martin become a little bit more vocal the last few years, more involved. So, that's all. Retro Scotty in the house, of course. Much love to Justin Quarles, the Q Man. We got L2 in the house. Daniel Berry Sports, much love.
DB. Another DB repping here. Not just the top dog, but DB Sports.
Kind of rolling back here. Asmodeus, what's up? Even you, Lee Side, even you. House Nelson in the house. Lord Nova, much love. Freedom First. Hey, he was first today. Way to go. So, and then as of right now, we do not have a new address, Skeptical Fan. We're still trying to figure out how we're going to do that just because of the change and everything. So, we'll let you guys know as soon as we're able to start receiving packages again.
Yeah. So now, you ready to receive some news, info, and updates?
No, because I got to shout out.
All right, keep it going.
Ed Fuego 2.0, hello and hi.
Thank you. Yes, of course.
Now I'm ready.
Now you're ready. All right, well, now I'm ready too. Let's talk some NFL football. The Eagles defensive back Avonte Maddox got injured in the game yesterday, Thursday Night Football against the Vikings. Feared to have torn his pectoral during that game. So, again, he's going to get a second opinion. I think he's going to have another MRI done. But if it's confirmed, he's going to be out for the entire season. So the Eagles got to now replace a starter injury there. For their team. Again, Avonte Maddox went healthy, pretty good, but he's now not healthy, obviously. Now, Washington, the Commanders, and we're staying in the East here, the NFC East. Head coach Ron Rivera said that Chase Young, who's missed the first game, said, quote, had a very good week and will make his season debut Sunday against the Denver Broncos. So we're going to see Chase Young for the first time this year. maybe even a little earlier than I first expected. I don't know. But anyway, he'll be on a slower pitch, on a slower snap percentage out there. Not going to play his usual snaps. Pitch count is what he's going to be on. The Panthers, we talked about J.C. Horn, one of the guys that the Cowboys almost drafted. We got Micah Parsons instead. But the Panthers cornerback J.C. Horn, we know he got injured. Today he was placed on the injured reserve officially today because of the hamstring injury. But the good news is, because they feared he's going to miss most of the season, about the whole year, it's not considered season ending, which is good news for J.C. Horn. So, again, will we face him? Again, guys, we visit Carolina on the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So, something we're going to have to, I guess, maybe, recheck. In fact, let's look at it here real quick. You'll see what I mean, because there is again, we've been talking about the change of uniforms, right? And let me also throw out there the roster, not the roster, but the uniform schedule, which I think we should take a quick look at. You see it right there. Of course, those are the new design on the side of the pants, when they wear their road silver, road gray. Now it has a blue line there, so you might see that the first time when we're there. Might be wearing Dallas, so we're going to check it out against the Rams on October. Well, you see it right there, the first blue jersey there after that the bye week.
Personally,
yeah, October 29th. So, we'll see how it looks. Full effect, probably in person, baby, for the first time. The Cowboys going to be wearing the jerseys. Their bottoms, their silver, dark gray road pants with now the blue, kind of royal blue line at the side. But the point is this: what week do we play the Carolina Panthers? And so when you look at this here, you're seeing us playing the Panthers week 11 all the way into November. J.C. Horn, all right, again, he's going to be on the field some point of the second half of the season. So, again, he probably will not be back, I'm going to guess, in time for our game. But, could be our game. He's back for the first game there, first one of the second game of the second half of the season. That week 11 game, J.C. Horn might be back, might not. He just definitely won't be 100%. And so we'll see how that goes. Hoping the best for him. And I hope we get them at their best for the Panthers, because that's the way I like to beat our opponents, when they're at their best. So, anyways, there's the uniform schedule. As you can see, now you can see it. We're going the first 5 games, we're going with our basic white home jerseys. Then against the Chargers, we're going with our color rush bye week. And then you're seeing the first time we wear the Navy, which baby will be there. The kids will be there. The whole family, MCF family, will be at the actual game there in Dallas. So we'll be wearing those Navy blues and maybe more.
We'll
see. We'll see about those new pants we're going to watch. Hey, much love to Haley94. We're kicking it off here tonight with the drops of love from above with that $2 J. Lou holler.
Ooh, thank you, Haley.
What did Haley have to say?
He said, 1-0 is a win. 2-0 starts the streak.
Hell yeah.
Go Cowboys.
Oh, Cowboys. You see those teams we play, and it'd be nice to get a nice long streak, and then we beat like the Niners, and we beat the Chargers, and we keep rolling,
Yeah, and just because, let's be honest, even though we obviously absolutely crushed the Giants in that Week 1 game, we're all kind of looking at each other like, all right, can we even come close to replicating those types of results?
It depends on opponents, depends on our injuries, there's a lot of things, right?
So many factors that go into it, but
the game
at
planning.
The end of the day, can we get the win? And how exactly do we get there, right? Because like I said, at the end of the day, it's not like our record will ever have an asterisk. A win is a win is a win is a win is a win. So, but a win is not always necessarily a win, as the Jets probably very intimately know, considering they won the game but lost so much more. Oh, so let me see. Fuego 2.0 said, I don't know, but every time we've been having a streak, then we come back off the bye week, we end up losing after that. Hopefully this year is much different.
That's the hope. Also, remember, Cowboys haven't won an opening game under Mike McCarthy ever. We lost the COVID year first game to the Rams. We lost I think it was the Rams. We lost the last 2 years first game against the Bucks. So we're already one step ahead that we were the last 3 years of McCarthy. With a 1-0 record, can we go 2-0? It'll be the first time since, I think, 2019, when we went 3-0. And then we ended up 3-3 when we lost our tackles. We lost Lyle Collins and Tyron Smith. That was that. So, yeah, 3-3 was like our best in recent years. Can we go 4-0 when we go against the Niners and maybe go 5-0 at that point? That'd be nice. We'll have to wait and see. You know why? Because I don't care about the Cardinals or the Patriots or the Niners. I care about the Jets. That's our next opponent, right? Anyways, there you go, guys. Full jersey, the jersey uniform schedule. snapshot it, take a picture. You see the schedule looking like there. You see that on that the throwback jersey, the Navy throwback there for Thanksgiving, right, against Washington. That'd be nice. And then of course the other color rush is at home against the Eagles. You can see there a couple of weeks after Thanksgiving. So let's get it on. Now we know the uniform situation. Let's hear from Jerry Jones. So Jerry Jones, of course, on 105.3 The Fan. He always speaks on Tuesdays. Today he said, let me throw in a Fan Friday discussion here. Pops up on the radar. And again, on 105.3 The Fan, he was asked about this upcoming matchup against the Jets. And their quarterback, Zach Wilson, taking over as the starter. Now with Aaron Rodgers, of course, as we know, out for the season. What do you have to say, baby, about the situation with Zach Wilson taking over?
He said, I think we all should turn to examples when they've seen it happen. We lost Tony Romo. I would argue that we may never have seen Dak Prescott had you not lost Tony Romo. We thought we were down and out, and Prescott comes in and the rest is history. Tony didn't get his job back. The point is, it happens.
The one thing I will say that Jerry Jones has wrong here, Tony Romo getting hurt, Dak Prescott was a rookie. He had no history yet with the Cowboys. A fourth-round quarterback, right? Really a comp pick fifth round, basically, is what he ends up really looking like. But, this situation with Zach Wilson, he's had his shot for 2 years and has failed pretty badly. Now, he did a good job, kind of, I guess, not losing the game against the Bills. But what I'm trying to say is that he's already got a little background here in the NFL.
We kind of already have an idea of what they have in Zach Wilson.
Yeah, sorry.
And that made them go after Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and that is why the Cowboys, the different comparison of what Jerry Jones is trying to make something out of nothing here. But my point is, it's completely different. Dak, there was no negative history. What we know, Zach Wilson, a lot of negative history.
I think he just meant it in a very general way, in the sense that, we would have never had, found Dak Prescott had Tony Romo not gone down, and sometimes you can make the best out of an opportunity. Now, like you said, how much of a best opportunity is this going to be? Who knows? But
we shall see. Again, our defense got to come through, stop the run, and then Zach Wilson's done. So, another thing Jerry Jones spoke about today is Brandon Cooks and the issue with his injury. Now, we do know, unfortunately, guys, Brandon Cooks is in a, iffy situation. Again, not practicing this week with that knee. We thought it was a tweak or Veteran Day. Then we know now it's a sprained MCL. So where we're heading with this here, is he going to play? It could be a couple of days. It could be a couple of weeks, this injury. Jerry Jones had his 2 cents on Brandon Cooks. What did he have to say, baby, on the update? From the Jerry Jones early morning 105.3 The Fan side.
His situation has truly been on the wait-and-see look since we first found out about it after the game. We're still a long way from kickoff. We'll look at it at game time. It'll be a game-time deal, in my opinion.
And we'll hear more about this in a minute because, we know more from Mike McCarthy, and then we know more from the practice report.
Although,
injury report.
Jerry did throw in there that, regardless, it's not like Cooks needs the practice time or something to be ready to go.
True.
He doesn't, he's good.
Again, physically, I think, running routes, and I think that's like a veteran kind of situation. Like, he'll know he can pick it up. It's more about, is he going to be able to do it injury-wise?
I agree with you on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know what
you're right.
Sees.
Now, what about Tyler Smith, who also Jerry Jones wanted to update us upon his injury? What did Jerry have to say about Tyler Smith?
Tyler is questionable and hasn't gotten the work that you'd normally think for him to play. He's probably the least likely to be active on Sunday. So, and he just kind of threw in there that, our Cowboys are just going to, quote, see what the day brings.
Yeah, I mean, we heard yesterday Tyler Smith kind of wanting, through McCarthy, saying he's pushing, really wants to play, but the fact
those
that
comments don't sound like someone who's
right, but
going to be able to play.
The fact is this: the Cowboys are being extra cautious, in my opinion, in a long season. You almost hear McCarthy and Jerry Jones saying he's not playing this week. He's going to be benched, and we don't have to rush him out there. It's a long season. Chuma Edoga did a pretty good job out there. I mean, he's not saying these things. No need to. We know it. But again, I do believe the defensive line's just as good, or maybe a little better than the Giants. So Chuma's got his work cut out another week here. We probably won't see Tyler Smith. That's according to Jerry Jones. All right, because there's other people that spoke on things. And before I even get to the Mike McCarthy discussions, baby, that was it from Jerry Jones. Mm-hmm. But Dak Prescott actually wanted to talk about injuries. We talk about Aaron Rodgers, right? An injury situation that's caused by, I guess some people say, the turf, right? Instead of grass field.
Yeah, the grass versus turf wars continue.
What is Dak saying as far as, is he a grass guy, a turf guy? What is the Cowboy team saying? What are they saying? What did Dak say about the turf?
He said, "Yeah, I'm 100% a grass guy."
Hell yeah!
That grass.
So cool, man.
My injury plays a huge part in that. How physical this game is, the way that guys are getting tackled, it's a whole lot safer, in my opinion, on grass than turf. So,
I mean, again, all the money that's made in the league, I agree with Dak. I mean, the players should be the most valuable commodity for these. You want to keep a good field and maintain, but also, the players want this. It seems like, and whether it's 100% safer or not, it seems at least a little bit safer. Even if it's a close call, it should go the players' way, in my opinion. Again, the owners should want their stadiums and grass fields so their players could be, I guess you could say, healthiest and at their best. So what did Dak say about the toll that these turf fields take?
Yeah, he said it. That's hard on our bodies. This is $1 billion business. And you want the best product on the field at all times.
I agree with you. Popular opinion Dak has. Pretty much all the players agree. Jerry Jones and the other owners are not agreeing.
Yeah, several players have said it, the difference after a practice on turf versus a practice on field, it's night and day.
Yeah.
The kind of soreness and pressure and aching and all that type of stuff. So
now we got Dak's 2 cents on that. Now McCarthy, when it did his press conference, but it's not just McCarthy talking about the injuries or the Jets. McCarthy actually was asked about grass or turf, and he said, "quote We practice on the grass every single day." They practice while on grass. Oh no, I got it. Okay, they practice on the grass.
Yeah, I think that's obviously McCarthy's way of answering the question without straight up saying, "Hey NFL, get your shit together." Yeah, because remember, it probably is not a good look for McCarthy to say, "Oh yeah, we definitely prefer grass and wish that all the stadiums are grass."
But it's also not good. Also, if he says turf, and the players are like, "Come on, coach." The truth is, this is an answer. Mike McCarthy, he probably doesn't give a damn either way. He just knows that the players want the grass, give them the grass. You know what I mean? And I agree. It's not a big maintenance issue or money issue. It's a bigger issue for a player's career. It can be gone because of sometimes. Not every time someone tears something or ruptures something is because of the grass or turf. Please understand. I don't think Aaron Rodgers thing had anything to do with that. But we have seen non-contact injuries usually occurring on turf fields, when usually occurring on knees and other places like calves and and hamstrings and Achilles and other things. So, anyways, guys, that's McCarthy's view on the grass versus turf. Now, jump back into Zack Martin, guys, as we know yesterday, was added to the injury report. Now, of course, that perked up all our eyes and said, okay, what's going on here? According to Mike McCarthy, he said that Zack Martin, quote, took every rep today in practice. So we don't hear much about practice today, but we do know one thing. Zack Martin took every fucking rep today, which is fantastic news. And again, the little walkthrough the Cowboys have on Saturday, expected to be fully ready for the walkthrough tomorrow, which is a great news for him to play.
At least that is some positive, happy news.
It feels a lot better. Now we know a little bit more about the groin issue for Zack Martin. But he took every rep. He's good to go. Again, McCarthy stressed Zack took every rep today. But then he went over to another guy, of course, that we got to watch for here, and that's our wide receiver with the knee issue, Brandon Cooks again. He said this about Brandon Cooks. Brandon watched for the most part, so we'll see what he can do tomorrow on Saturday. So not a good practice day for Brandon Cooks. McCarthy said the Cowboys. So I'm just saying, basically, he said that Brandon Cooks was a spectator today and not participate. So that's another.
So just kind of hanging out, watching, chilling.
Rehab. I'm assuming, obviously. Yeah, rehabbing, not really chilling. But the point is that he's out there.
I don't think he was eating popcorn and playing video games. I just mean that obviously he wasn't an active participant in the physical parts of practice.
Yeah, that's what McCarthy said yesterday. That's what he said about today's practice. It's showing up on the injury report like that. We'll discuss what that looks like for his status for the game. But the Brandon Cooks thing, unfortunately, not the best situation. We'll take a look at the injury report in a minute. But one last thing McCarthy talked about was about, the best defensive player in the league, Micah Parsons. And he said this about how Micah Parsons has handled all of the extra attention he gets during games. We know what we're talking about here, right? Double-teamed, triple-teamed.
I mean, at this point, they're sending the whole O-line after just him. But
so it's just the fact that he's getting all this attention. McCarthy actually brought it up today. This is what McCarthy said, quote, "I think Micah's handled it very well. I think he clearly understands the opportunities that he creates for others on our defense. He's very much in tune with that. Frankly, just to make him feel at home, we triple-teamed him today on the last play of game segment. It's just something he's going to have to deal with for the rest of his career."
Okay, that's funny as hell.
So Micah getting triple-teamed on purpose on a couple definitely on one play, but on a couple plays. Listen, guys, Micah is taking two guys at the same time away from the blocking duties to go after our other guys, and he still gets pressure.
I was just about to say, and even if it doesn't start that way, it ends up that way, whoever goes up one-on-one against Micah doesn't usually last long.
But that's the crazy thing. When you can get double-teamed and you're the guy still get pressure, but you're getting double-teamed and all your guys are getting pressure and you're getting pressure too. That's the difference from the Micah difference. So Micah Parsons, just to make him feel at home, according to McCarthy, hey, let's triple-team him because that's what it's going to come to. And if they have to triple-team Micah, if we don't get it ain't Micah's fault. We ain't going to do anything in defense. That's everybody else's fault on this team. So there's going to be one-on-ones and it's going to be chip blocks and helps and all this stuff on Micah. These other guys, Doris Armstrong, Fowler, Sam Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, everyone, Osa, Odiggy Zoo, they all got to get in there and eat, all of them. And Micah will get there too. He'll get 1 sack a game. But that means everybody else is getting 3 sacks a game. That's what we want to see for our Cowboys. So, again, Micah Parsons, again, that's the way the Cowboys kind of did practice today when it came to Micah Parsons, per Mike McCarthy. So, that's the Micah lesson right there. And again, Mike McCarthy, after talking about the practice, shortly after he finished his press conference, we saw the injury report. So, what's the deal, baby? Well, Brandon Cooks right here, all right, with the knee issue. He was listed, did not practice the entire week. He is listed as questionable for the game, which I'm going to be honest, I'm highly surprised with no practice the entire week.
Yeah, I kind of expected him to be doubtful, which means that there's actually a bigger chance than we thought that he could play at least.
I mean, Jerry Jones literally said, didn't have to practice this week to get in there to play. I just think the Cowboys will probably err on the side of caution, even if he maybe could get in there and play. You guys feel me on this? So Brandon Cooks is listed as questionable, even if he didn't practice the entire week. Zack Martin, let's go to him real quick, guys. Zack Martin, what's his status right now? The groin issue was popped up on there yesterday in the middle of practice. Today he was also, even though he took all the snaps, all the reps, they still put him as limited out there for the Cowboys on the practice report. And he's also listed as questionable for the game tomorrow. I'm going to give you a little update on him, though. The thing I'm hearing about Zack Martin, guys, with the groin and he's questionable and all that stuff, the Cowboy, he's got so much practice in today, and he's going to be in tomorrow's practice, that the Cowboys are going to have to. They're going to have to move him to take his injury designation or whatever it may be, his status. They're going to have to move him from questionable to active and take him off the thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hearing. So tomorrow after the Saturday practice,
I mean, that's a good problem to have. I'll take that.
The Cowboys are going to have to force to tip their hand, show their cards when it comes to if Zack Martin is ready, because he's practiced too much to be able to keep hiding him on the injured list, which tells us, guys, first of all, no uncertainty about his status. He's playing. Zack Martin will be playing this game. He's fully healthy. And it's great news. Even with the groin, they treated it. He's good to go, just taking it easy in practice. Great news for Zack Martin. Tomorrow, he should probably be on, off the entire injury report, and he should be probable. He should be listed as probable tomorrow. So great news about Zack Martin. Baby, I know we got great news from Calvin Richard, who's dropping that 5 on it. Yeah, baby, it's up to you.
Thank you so much, Calvin Richard. Appreciate you with that $5 holler. He said, without Cooks, Tolbert needs to step up. So, yeah, one of the big questions after week 1 was, hey, where the heck was the rest of our offense, right? Like, there's a lot of guys that I think a lot of people were excited to see that we did not even get to see them really do anything, even step on the field as far as we're aware.
Yeah, like Deuce and Tolbert and others, right?
Of course, the Cooks injury does present opportunities for some of our younger guys, but I think that even if Cooks was 100% healthy, I think the plan was to kind of unveil our offense, obviously, a little bit more just because
you
with
mean
week
open
one, the
things up.
weather.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The weather and the
weather
lead.
very much limited us, and then yes, like you said, the very early and dominating lead meant. Well, we weren't really in a position where we had to show much on offense.
We pulled back our offense, pulled back the offensive stuff that you had planned. Do it on a clearer day like we're going to have. But that means more Michael Gallup and more Jalen Tolbert. And again, maybe more Turpin as well in there, right? So, we'll see what the Cowboys do. They could also go to the tight ends more. They can go to the running backs more. We shall see. Much love to Calvin Richard, by the way, who jumps up this board like in a quick way, baby, and is in 12th place all by himself. Much love to Calvin. Go Cowboys.
Ooh, now Real Deal said, this game makes me a little nervous. I'm worried about getting ran all over.
That has always been my biggest issue here, baby. You know I've been saying that for a while. The Cowboys must prove to me they can stop the run consistently. I didn't see that in the beginning of that Giants game, and then we just blew them out. So it's hard to feel comfortable yet when we haven't seen them really consistently stop the run.
I agree, especially considering that, again...
We got better in the game, but I mean, we still were up.
We got better. I still feel like we got a little bit lucky in some regards. You know what I mean? Like, it was less, oh, yeah, we're doing such a great job stopping the run, and more, oh, we got lucky because of circumstance, because of this thing, and we were also able to stop the run.
It could be a penalty, or it could be, they put them in a passing situation, or whatever it may be. And, again, down by 16, and then 26, and then on and on. There's really no chance, right, to really use that run game. But they still got over 100 yards total on us running with Daniel Jones, who I think was their leading rusher, and Saquon Barkley. So, I just think we got we got a team coming in that's going to lean on the run. They got Dalvin Cook, and they got Breece Hall. And, we'll see how their offensive line can do. But we'll definitely delve into that. We're going to delve into that a little bit later.
Yeah,
actually.
And Bama fans said, no way we are losing to the Jets. Yeah, especially considering the last time we played the Jets. Not ideal. Not great. Let's leave it at that. We won't talk about that.
We also had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. Not like we had, again, knock on wood, but not as bad as we're having now, believe it or not, when we had the last time we played the Jets in New York. So, now, when you talk about these injuries, baby, that's just two guys I talk about here, right? Brandon Cooks and Zach Martin, they're both questionable for the game. Zach Martin will be taken off of this list tomorrow, or they'll be moved to doubtful. I mean, not doubtful. How dare I? Zach Martin will be moved to probable tomorrow. Probably go to probable after the Saturday walkthrough in the afternoon before, they got to put in their final kind of, game statuses. Much love to Mr. Calvin Richard once again.
Ooh, with the $2 holler.
J. Lou Holler. I know that he put Brandon James to, 85 points. What did Calvin have to say?
He said, Philly rushed for 279 yards.
Yep, they did. They ran all over the Vikings. We got to be ready for them whenever we play them. But first, let's focus on the Jets first, and then we'll worry about the Eagles when it comes down. But yeah, no matter what team we're facing, we got to stop the run. Agree 100%.
So, Cam DC Farrell said, Pollard and Deuce, we got to trust. It's funny because, again, the whole running back situation, I have to admit, I do trust them. Right? Like, I don't think they're just going to be able to run anybody over or whatever, but they're smart, they're shifty, they're fast.
And it's how the blocking scheme. It's got to be how the blocking scheme works as well. Soliari doing some of the gap running there, really nice pulling stuff there. Chuma Edoga did a great job doing his stuff. Biotish did great stuff inside by pulling. We really got a lot of yardage doing that kind of stuff. So, we'll be there. I think the running will come. I don't think we're going to force the run though. We're going to find the easy passes. We're going to find the efficient runs. That's the goal of the offense, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, let me get back to this because we're going to lose focus here. But again, when we got the injury situation, like I said, one last time, Zach Martin questionable, gonna probably be probable tomorrow. Brandon Cooks, he's questionable, but I think he's probably gonna be more doubtful than anything. I'm not expecting Brandon Cooks to play. Like I said, more Michael Gallup, more Kevontae Turpin, and we're finally gonna see a lot more. I think of a Jalen Tolbert getting maybe 10, 12 snaps in this game. So that's the deal there with Cooks. Now, just real quickly, guys, Tyron Smith, who's been on the injured list the last 2 weeks after that rolled ankle. Full practice all week. No game status designation. Guess what? Tyron Smith, full go. He's playing, baby. That's great news there. And Sam Williams, by the way, baby. Again, last week was on the list with the, injured list, the predecessor with the toe turf injury. Played in the game, though. Had some, I'd say more limited snaps than his normal flow. This week was not on the injured list.
Which is good because, again, obviously, turf toe can be one of those, like, kind of long, lingering type of injury.
So not on the injury list. Same as Jordan Lewis, by the way. He didn't play, but he was not on the injury list. So the Cowboys are working him back till he's back to full strength for Jordan Lewis. Maybe he comes back this week, but Sam Williams was on the practice list today, on the injured list today, or I guess the participation list today. But why did he miss practice, baby? The birth of his child. Another one. That's like 4.
Hey,
we have 4 in like a month. four new Cowboys.
A very good reason to miss practice. Congratulations to him and his family. And yes, I guess our Cowboy players are very fertile.
What's in that water? Yeah. So when we look at the Jets team here, guys, we look at our injury report. Look at their injury report. It's going to be real quick and real simple, but it's going to be a new name popped in there. I'm curious what you guys think. First of all, both their left and right tackle, old man Dwayne Brown with the shoulder, and their best guy, I guess, Mekhi Becton, has a knee issue. Both of them were full practice today. They were limited practice all week, but today they were full practice. They were both listed as questionable. I expect them both to play. Get ready because we got a defense coming at you. Now, we also got Breece Hall, the running back, who's their starter over Dalvin Cook. He has a knee bump, a bruise, whatever it may be. Limited all week. Today, he was full practice. He's also listed as questionable. My prediction is all 3 guys will be fine for the game and will be playing against us. So just practice and think about it as they're fully loaded. And that, other than Aaron Rodgers, they got all their guys. Now, in practice, baby, it looks like they had an injury to Greg the Leg. Greg Zuerlein, their kicker. Again, we know these games if they're close. If they're close, they could be a last-second field goal that makes a difference in this thing. So Greg Zuerlein, they didn't even mention what happened to him on the injury report. They're just saying questionable. Did not practice today, and he's questionable for the Cowboy game. So if there's anything that's telling from the Jets side right now, special teams. And Greg Zuerlein, former Cowboy, injured his groin yesterday. He's not again, like I said, he didn't practice today. And according to Robert Saleh, he is, quote, 50-50 for the game. So they had to work. They said they're going to work out kickers. They did have here's a short list of guys that they worked out. Ty Long, punter. A punter for the kicking job from Alabama, Birmingham. Then they had Austin Siebert, former kicker, but not a very good one, from Oklahoma. Caleb Shudak, kicker from Iowa. And Matthew Wright, UCF, Golden Knight there. Matthew Wright was worked out. So I didn't hear if they signed any of these guys, but they worked out 4 guys if Zuerlein can't go. You never know. That shit, we talk about it for our team, meaning a big deal, and we got Brandon Aubrey. Every point counts. I'm just saying, Greg Zuerlein out there. They got these other scrubby kind of kickers. We'll see what happens. Now, to me, what this means, what do you think about this with the kicker situation? It could mean the Jets will take more chances offensively. What do I mean by that? Like, if they are on a situation where on the cusp of a field goal attempt, but they got, Ty Long or Matthew Wright or Caleb Shudak or Austin Siebert as their kicker, they'll say, we'll go for this on 4th down. Or maybe it's on 3rd down. We know we're not going to kick the field goal, so let's try to pass it down a little bit farther. Maybe try to get a couple more extra yards on this play, so we set up a shorter 4th down or a shorter 3rd. So they're going to attack maybe a little more aggressively because they don't want to kick field goals with the new kicker. If this is the situation, Zuerlein's there, Zuerlein's there.
Score, maybe they go for 2 in this case.
It could happen too, but I'm just saying.
I know that's.
I'm talking about more, but I'm talking more offensively. The aggressiveness from the Jets, even on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd, they could be more aggressive to try to get yardage because they don't want to risk a long kick. But what does that do, baby? That means that even though they're going to try to take some chances offensively, that's good for me. I want that to happen. That means it would present more chances for the Cowboys' pass rush and defensive backfield for takeaways, sacks, strip fumbles, interceptions, tips, whatever. So keep going. Take more chances offensively. That's exactly what I want to see from our opponents. Take more chances offensively. Greg Zuerlein, remember this? He dealt with a groin injury in 2019 when he was with the Rams before us. But then, this other groin injury now he just happened to have yesterday or against, now he's going to kick against us. Remember, he played for us in 2020 and 2021. So, and just one last thing, guys. The last 3 Week 2 games that we had, all right, the last 3 years. In 2020, Greg Zuerlein was our kicker, and he hit a 46-yard game-winning field goal for us as time expired. If I'm correct, it was against the Los Angeles Chargers. If I think I'm right on that. I'm not sure actually on that. But I think it was the Chargers. Yeah. And then now last year, wasn't it? No, not last year. I'm sorry. In 2020, that was. That was against. I'm trying to think. Oh no, okay, my fault. I think I'm wrong about that. 2020, the second game was wasn't it the Falcons? I'm pretty sure was the week 2 game. We got that onside kick and won the game as time expired. In 2021, that one, I'm trying to think now. God, why can't I remember it now? It was the damn. I can't. I had it in my mind. I loved. I know Brett Maher. Oh, that was the Charger game in 2021. Was a Charger, a huge 56-yard game winner. Week 2 last year, Brett Maher hit the 50-yarder against the Cincinnati Bengals. Remember, we had Cooper Rush and brought the upset. So the last 3 years, we had our Week 2 matchups won by the kicker. 2 times by Greg Zuerlein, last year by Brett Maher. Will Brandon Aubrey, will he get a chance to maybe follow suit and win the game in the last second? We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it don't come down to that. Hopefully, we got it already locked up, loaded, and ready. No need for them last second heroics, so to speak. So when I look at the situation with the Jets and this upcoming game, and we're going to hear from the rest of the players that spoke today, because I do want to focus on the offensive line side of things. And we're going to hear from Chuma Edoga. We're going to hear from Tyler Smith, even defensively Marquise Bell. We're going to hear about all these guys and from their points of views and what they're going to do. When it comes to this game and maybe their availability and what they're looking for if they're going to play. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, keep this in mind, guys. Mike McCarthy played the Jets in Week 2. The last time the Cowboys, now of course head coach Mike McCarthy, played the Jets in Week 2 of a season was 2014, and the Packers went on to win, of course, the NFC Championship that year. The last time McCarthy played an AFC East opponent in Week 2 at home after beating a team from the NFC East on the road was, in Week 1 was in 2010, which the Packers beat the Bills after beating the Eagles to start the season 2-0. So again, that team for McCarthy and the Packers won the Super Bowl. So keep that in mind. Again, maybe the goal, we got to win, go 2-0. That's the goal, of course. But that could also propel us, as some of you guys said in the chat, to something greater for this season. We won not just the NFC Championship. We want to get that 6 and beyond. Since the start of the 2022 season, guys, the Jets have scored 20 touchdowns when they've been in the red zone. That's the fewest in the NFL. In that same time frame, the Cowboys have allowed 26 touchdowns when defending inside the red zone. That's the 6th fewest in the league. So, again, the Jets don't score very well in 2022 and so far, I guess, in 2023. When they get in the red zone, they are the worst in the league. Our defense, one of the best in the league. Again, 6th best in the league, stopping teams from scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Big numbers there for our Cowboys. Now, when it comes to our team, this defensive side of things, baby, I know that Stephen Jones did speak today, but he didn't say anything of really substance, as Steve never really does too often. But Stephen Jones,
we just had a little quick chat, right?
On 105 through the Fan, said that the Nick Bosa deal, edge rusher, quote, impacts the economics. What does that mean? We're going to talk about the pie again? Basically impacts the economics of the looming payday for this guy on your screen, Micah Parsons. According to Stephen Jones, the Cowboys aren't afraid to pay the man. Stephen Jones said, quote, we look forward to Micah being a Cowboy for a long, long time, and we look forward to the day where we can get him signed up for that.
Well, let's see what happens. Complaining there, Stephen.
I know he's already saying this. He's doing this on purpose. If you want a deal and you're on the Cowboys, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to take less. That's the way they do their negotiations through the media. So there you go. Stephen Jones putting out there, we're gonna pay him. We want him signed up right now. But it does impact the economics, as he always wants to go with the pie over everything. So, Steve being Steve, old Stevie Jones there. So now I do want to say something.
He's the one who keeps talking pie.
I know,
right?
He always talks pie. The Jets coach, Robert Saleh, to the Jets reporters today on the greatness of the guy we just talked about should be getting paid here, Micah Parsons. Robert Saleh said this about Micah, quote, he's going to be one of those guys that gets paid Bosa money. You give money to people like that. He just wrecks games. So it's like, here's the bag, but no pressure, Dallas. He's special. So we'll see what happens. Now, when it comes to the defense for the Cowboys side, we're going to talk about some keys, some points here, some matchups that we're going to take note of in this game. And this is when we're wrapping this up here a little early. You guys can drop the knowledge. You can drop the love. You guys can, give your 2 cents on things. We'll be stopping by there and checking on things. I know you have some quotes we're going to bring up when it's relevant to, our portion of the night. Like right now when we get to pass coverage, we're going to talk about Marquise Bell in a minute.
Yeah, of course.
But when I talk about this defense, and of course Mike is the man, right? But let me kind of go here for a quick second and just throw up there the guy who's the mastermind, the chess master of our team, Dan Quinn. So again, guys, when you look at Dan Quinn's defense, there's a certain we had the amoeba slash NASCAR package where you have 4 pass rushers kind of standing up. No real defensive tackles, right? You got 4 pass rushers. You see Dan Quinn has certain special looks, certain special, personnel he uses maybe 5 or 6 times only in a game. Well, here's another personnel the Cowboys use, not the amoeba or a NASCAR package with the blitzing. It's about our defensive back side of things here, the star designation. Dan Quinn has a star. We're repping the stars today for a reason, so is he. Star designation in Dan Quinn's defense is interesting. The Cowboys running a hybrid, we talked about it yesterday, a 4-3 hybrid defense. It's really a 3-4 with a 5-man line. That's what it comes down to, guys. We have a 4-2-5 defensive kind of, personnel grouping there with 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. But the star kind of formation, the star, designation is the key to the defense, and you have a what Dan Quinn calls a free hitter in the run game to stop the run. Now you got a floater, someone floating around, constantly looking for a way to stop the run, to get in the hole, to stop the run, to be the guy that lays into the guy who's maybe the running back who's maybe getting stopped at the line of scrimmage, or if he breaks through, to hit him when he gets gets to that hole. So those guys that do that, the guys that are tasked to be, the star designation, the guy who's the free runner out there, to the free hitter, in the run game, those guys are as follows: Donovan Wilson, Jaron Kearse, Wanye Thomas, and Marquise Bell. These 4 guys will be utilized in that mix of that star. When they say star, that means, and they're saying it to Donovan Wilson, he is now floating around being the free hitter, and able to attack in the run game, kind of wherever there's that weakness, wherever there's a hole, wherever the runner goes. That's the new Dan Quinn kind of mindset, I think, with getting extra safety involved in the run game, in the run defense. The star designation for a player is basically a hybrid safety that can play as an outside linebacker in most 4-3 alignments. You're not going to see him as a 3-4 outside linebacker, coming in as the rusher, but you're going to see a 4-3 base with a guy, the 5th guy being that safety, that sneaky kind of free hitter, hybrid safety / linebacker to help and assist in the run game. A Dan Quinn tweak we learned about here on My Cowboys Family. So I love to bring up these things because, again, that taking away the run is going to be major in this game. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. That's you're seeing how the guy was going to try to attack the run. But how about the pass? How about the side of things where we got to kind of, slow down their passing game? If they're going to try to attack us in the air, what do we got to do? Well, first and foremost, guys, when you look at the upcoming situation with the Jets, and when you look at their offense, you see their biggest players here: the quarterback, Zach Wilson; the running backs, Major, of course, Garrett Wilson, number 17, their best receiver. So the keys I'm going to look at here in matchups for the Cowboys. Listen here, I think it's major that we got someone back there, like a Trayvon Diggs, all right, and a Stephon Gilmore versus number 17 on your screen, Garrett Wilson. Whenever Garrett Wilson is lined up on the outside, he's going to be lined up against Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore. Number 17 for the Jets is their main threat when they're throwing the ball, all right? If the Cowboys can contain them, and we got two fantastic corners to lock down in this matchup, Garrett Wilson, he goes on the left side, we got Trayvon. We got on the right side, we got Stephon Gilmore. You guys feel me on this? So this is a matchup that I think we can definitely win. It's definitely one of the keys to slow down any kind of passing they're going to try to do. We didn't even talk about the pass rush. When they try to throw the ball, this is where, the coverage side, if they even get a chance to breathe, this is where you can see where maybe If Zack Wilson will try to get the ball to his partner there, Mr. Garrett Wilson, and we'll have to see how that turns out. I think we're going to be in great shape with Diggs or Stephon Gilmore on the outside in coverage against number 17. Again, Diggs and Gilmore are going to have to remain disciplined in their coverage. Shutting down number 17, Garrett Wilson, it'd be even an additional game-changing aspect to our game to be able to lock down this Jets offense. We get home to 0 points, we lock him down. And, really, honestly, if they ever need to come back in the game and we can lock him down, it's shutdown city, guys. That's a major matchup that I think we have not only the chance to, we will win it, and we should win it. Now, another matchup, and this I think we have to definitely honor their run game here. We have to watch for the run game. And Jonathan Hankins, guys, and Mozzie Smith are some of the biggest names to watch in this game. Hankins going to play probably most of the time. Mozzie's going to play more than last week. Both these guys are going to be matched up against Elijah Vera Tucker. Now, keep in mind, guys, Elijah Vera Tucker, we talked about him a little bit yesterday. He's kind of up and coming. Number 75 on their offensive line, their left guard. So we're talking about interior here. And I say interior, we got Jonathan Hankins and Mozzie Smith. When they go up against Elijah Vera Tucker, listen, they're going to have other guys to go against. They got the Connor McGovern we know, formerly of Denver, not our Connor McGovern, but the Connor McGovern that's not our former Cowboy. He's the center, and they got Laken Tomlinson as the left guard. But that right guard is probably their best interior guy, Elijah Vera Tucker, number 75. And just so you guys know why he's important, I don't know about pass blocking, but number 75, Vera Tucker, was the best run-blocking offensive lineman for the New York Jets in Week 1. And I will say this. All the other guys, and I'm including the starters like Dwayne Brown and Mekhi Becton, Connor McGovern at center, and Laken Tomlinson, all four of these guys were average or below average in run blocking. But the only guy that was dominant in run blocking, Elijah Vera Tucker. So in the run game, you guys talking about it, right? We got to stop the run. This is a major key to win this fucking game, guys. Because if we stop the run, the game is over. It's over. They will not win. I don't care if we have 4 fumbles on offense. They will not win. So, again, this is a major interior situation we got to keep an eye on. That's how we're going to slow down and stop the run. But it doesn't have to be. Let me reiterate. When I say Hankins and Mozzie Smith, it doesn't mean they have to be getting the statistics. I'll explain in a minute. But they can definitely slow them down. They can help some tackle for losses. They can help get some tackles. But you want them holding on those double teams so the linebackers can finish off plays on the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
that's
they're kind of doing more of the grunt work. So,
exactly.
Maybe it's not going to show up on a stat sheet depending on exactly how it goes down. But you'll still see it and feel its impact. And you'll definitely notice when it's not happening. When
you see Marquise Bell, LVE, Damone Clark, and those guys making tackles for no gains and loss of yards. I'm just saying, when you start seeing that, that is Jonathan Hankins and Mozzie Smith doing the work. That's what you think. You don't see them, but they're doing the work. Watch the replays. You'll see them getting double teamed, and these linemen will not be able to get to the linebackers because they got to stay with them so long. Definitely with Jonathan Hankins. Mozzie still learning. But either way, this Jets team is going to lean on their run game. This is a major key for them, going behind number 75, Elijah Vera Tucker. So to counter this, the Cowboys have to hope that these matchups with Hankins, I truly believe Hankins will dominate Vera Tucker. I also believe that Mozzie can hang with him. And I also believe, why don't we just put both these motherfuckers in there at the same time? None of them can hang. On a run, let them. I have no problem. Baby, I have no problem putting these guys in there most of the game. You know why? Because let them throw. Okay, so they're throwing this play. Okay, let them throw. Let them throw just as long as they don't run. I want them to throw, so I don't have to load up the box. Just put in Jonathan Hankins and next to him put Mozzie Smith. Case closed. You get the linebackers to pick up any kind of holes that the running backs get through, end their lives. And after that, they're going to have to throw. They're going to have to throw. What are they going to do? So that's the key to this game. That's why I say that's a major matchup. That we got to win that inside, and not against their Connor McGovern or Laken Tomlinson. These are average run blockers. I'm talking about their best guy. If we beat him, it's game over, baby. It's game over, and we stop the run. So outside of, I guess you could say, what's his name? Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
as a receiver. Of course, their quarterback as well as there's Zach Wilson. Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook in the middle right there. Number 20, Breece Hall. Number 33, Dalvin Cook. Both of these are main components that will keep the Jets offense on the field. Keep getting them first downs. You know what I'm saying? And because they're not going to go heavy passing unless we force them to, whether by points, by scoreboard, by loading up Mozzie and Jonathan Hankins and forcing them to pass. That would be the way I would go. The matchup in the middle could be key to shutting down the Jets' entire offensive game plan. Stopping the run, guys. That's really all they got. If they could get any kind of run going, they'll stay in the game. If we stop the run, they won't even be sniffing a point in this motherfucking game. I'm telling you this. That's how good our defense is, and we got to stop the run. That's how bad their offense situation is. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, though, about the offense on their side and how a key matchup for our defense, of course, we talked about the pass rush and all that stuff, but I'm focusing on the run game. Because we know pass rush will dominate. We know what we got to do. Leighton Vander Esch and Damone Clark are let's say they're more run-stopping linebackers that are going to be, they should be cleaner with Mozzie Smith and especially Jonathan Hankins there. But let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say Jonathan Hankins and Mozzie Smith aren't really able to control the line of scrimmage as much as we hoped, which would be a sad disappointment. But let's say they weren't able to do that. And I will say one thing, guys. In a lot of that game against the Giants, the Cowboys were not able to control the line of scrimmage. That was one of my biggest concerns. So if we have similar issues like we had against the Giants, against the Jets, it has to come down to Vander Esch and Damone Clark to stop the run. Now, again, to me, Vander Esch, they're going to have to get in there and tackle the running backs very quickly in the gaps that they got to, their gaps that they have to read and stop. They have to clock it up. We've seen the damage that, running backs can get in the open field, and we cannot allow Damone Clark and LVE to kind of be chasing running backs across the field. They're not really those kind of guys. I'm going to be honest about that. So, again.
Yeah, just not their style.
Yeah, both of these running backs are potential home run hitters. Don't forget that. Dalvin Cook still good, guys. Very good. And Breece Hall, up and coming, fantastic speed and burst, acceleration, the whole thing. So you got to be careful. They're playmakers at running back for them. And I say either the run or the pass. Anyways, the point is, two-headed monster. We have our own two-headed monster at linebacker. LVE and Damone Clark, they have to, assuming, if I'm telling you right now, if Mozzie and Hankins take on double teams, then we should be seeing, a lot of stats for Marquise Bell, LVE, and a stack load of other players like Damone Clark and others. Now, again, this is the way that our safeties, the guys like Donovan Wilson, Jaron Kearse, kind of help out in the run game. I mean, I'm just curious what's going on. And anyways,
Cam DC Frail said Hankins was good at stopping the runs. So
yeah, but that's the thing, though. He's not going to take every snap, and that's where Mozzie has to come in and help. I think we got to make sure we load up that box. And I say load up the box. Let me rephrase that. It's not good terminology. I don't want to overload up the box. We don't want to kind of just get on a bunch of one-on-ones the whole game on the outside, but we do want to make sure we stop the run. I don't care what we really have to do in the end about that. So yeah. Hankins, he had some good plays. He had some plays that he got a little beat on there, but it was more about the other guys that they come through. And I did see, even though Hankins knocked down and washed down some plays, you saw guys like Marquise Bell, LV, and Damone Clark do a great job in bottling up the inside. We got to do the same thing consistently against the Jets in this game. And, one of the main guys in this whole thing, baby, against this offense of the Jets, one of the main guys we're talking about tonight who spoke on the defensive side, Marquise Bell, guys, number 40. He's ready. Playing that linebacker spot, but that hybrid linebacker. He's a safety, playing a hybrid linebacker. And I think he's such an important piece for our team. Again, he seems like Overshown. Even a little Micah Parsoness when it comes to using the speed to get away from the bigger offensive lineman. And that's what he's going to have to do in this game to try to get in there and make an impact in the run like he did last week. Did a great job last week in the run game and helping stop the run. And, taking that hybrid safety mindset to the linebacker role, a great job by Marquise Bell, number 14. So, baby, what did he say about this upcoming game and the upcoming situations that he's going to see himself in?
Yeah, so one of the things that he mentioned specifically was, of course, after that 40-0 victory, how do you stay even keel, as they called it? He said, me personally, I always think the worst. My perspective is shit. we're going into the game as the underdogs.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way it should be.
A man after your own heart, my love. So, again, Marquise Bell did not say too much there. But that was his main point.
That's all he said the whole day? Oh, I saw a couple of things he said. But all right, that was the only thing he said today?
That was the only thing I saw.
Right.
I just saw that repeated
cool.
2 different ways.
Well, again, guys, he's going to be out there, looking as the, again, as he should, looking at himself as the underdog and his team as the underdog against the Jets. Good. Let's not fall into the Aaron Rodgers
Bell
hurt
is definitely looking good. Again, obviously, all of us are disappointed with the whole Overshown situation. But, kind of like what Jerry said earlier, sometimes when players get hurt, it presents opportunities. And Marquise Bell is definitely making the most of his opportunity right now. Yeah, I mean, looking at some breakdowns out there, you can see him in the All-22 coaches film. Marquise Bell really is diagnosing the run game, the run plays quicker than I expected him to. See, I like what Seabass said in the chat. He said, I actually like being deficient at linebacker. Otherwise, I'd not have seen Juanye and Marquise. It's beauty in disguise.
I'm telling you, Marquise
that's why I said, injuries create possibilities for guys to show their skills,
usually,
and both of these guys are making the most of those.
That's the thing, though. Usually it's like a major downgrade. We're seeing some of the pluses that they bring to the table, not just, just like, he's not as good as Overshown, or he's not as good as Donovan Wilson, or he's not, okay, but he's got other skills that maybe those guys don't have as good yet. And I think Marquise Bell did a great job against the Giants. I'm hopeful to see this again, a similar kind of way that this was handled by Marquise Bell and his diagnosis and reading of the running plays and even the passing plays. Great job in zone coverage. So I really like what Marquise Bell is bringing to the table here for our Cowboys. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen when it comes when Ish hits the fan and he's got to go in there and stop the run. Now I know that we have some other comments maybe from the offensive side. And I'm going to let you do that now because I know we had 2 guys talking today, Tyler Smith and Chuma Edoga, 2 guys that are right there in the question mark zone. Who's going to play and who's not? Before we do that, though, let's take away this offense and go to the defense, because now we're going to talk about the matchups on defense we need to focus on. You've seen a lot of them right there on your screen. But also, I want to hear from, before we even get started on that, because it's going to start on the offensive line, and Biotish and Tyler Smith. But no Tyler Smith probably this game. I'm expecting more Chuma Edoga. So what did these guys say, starting with Tyler Smith, baby, when it comes to his injury, his perspective, ability to play this game? I mean, again, Jerry Jones today himself said he's the least likely to make this game, to be active for this game. And so that tells me he's not playing.
And you already touched on everything that Jerry mentioned, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So go ahead.
So, sorry, because I know Jerry and Steven both kind of had a little something to say there.
I didn't say Steven thing on Tyler. So.
Well, no, I never said you. Okay. No, I just saying I didn't know if you had mentioned. I didn't know which Jones you had touched on already. I was just kind of confirming that. But anyway, real quick, like Tyler Smith had said, and obviously he spoke about his hamstring, saying, quote, "I'm sprinting a lot more. Things are moving along really well. Obviously, I'm trying to get back as quickly as possible, but be smart at the same time. It is a long season. Our hopes and dreams extend all the way into February." He also apparently never missed a game in college due to injury. So this is obviously a little bit of a new situation for him, standing on the sideline this past Sunday. He said it was lit. It was a dominant performance. I can't say that enough. I was exhilarated just being out there, being able to support the guys. But I definitely want to be a part of that. So, hey, can't blame him for wanting to be up in the mix. And hopefully some of that college health, again, starts reflecting itself here in the NFL. Again, those soft tissue injuries tend to be the most annoying. So I'm glad that he's just trying to make sure that he is fully back and ready to go healthy.
Is that everything he said? That's it?
Yeah, he literally only talked about his hamstring.
So again, that's really the only thing we really need to hear. And the reality is, I think the Cowboy, even though this is frustrating for him, this is his first injury. This is, all these things we talk about that he just said, we know. But it's about the Cowboys being cautious for the overall season. I think he kept touching that as well. It's more of an overview, a whole season thing. Let's not rush him back if we don't need to. And let's use, a very important
exactly, like the short term, rushing him back for this 1 to 2 games is not worth the long term. Hey, we're trying to make it through an entire season, and postseason, and all that.
Right. So then that means that who steps up? The same guy did last week, right? Chuma Edoga.
That's right. Hey, injuries create opportunities.
Chuma, again, his last team was the Jets. He's now going to face them here, starting his second straight week with the Cowboys. He played tackle with the Jets. Now he's playing guard with us. Left guard is where he's going to start in place of Tyler Smith. So going up against his Jet defense, he knows them. What did he have to say about this upcoming game and his ability to step in there and do what he did? He had a very good game. He had a little eye injury, came back in the game, though, after he left for a couple plays. So Chuma's ready to go and taking over the left guard spot for Tyler Smith. What did Chuma Edoga have to say?
I feel like there's always room for improvement, but yeah, it was good to get out there with my second start at guard. It's a new experience, a new position, just getting used to it, getting in a groove, getting a good team win. Especially in a game like that at MetLife in a stadium I used to play with in the Jets. It's a full circle moment. It was great.
Yeah, it's great to hear he's ready to roll.
And of course McCarthy only had good things to say about Edoga and his performance, which again, well earned and well deserved. He did a really solid job. So especially considering the whole short notice situation part of it, he said it. That position in particular is a little bit new to him. So, McCarthy added in there. You've got to be really excited about his performance last week. To go in there on short notice and play the way he did, I thought he did a really nice job. I'm hoping with a week's work, he'll be ready to go again.
I'm telling you guys, Chuma will be fine.
So
I'm
basically,
confident.
Look how he looked in a last-minute situation. Imagine how much more solid he's going to look knowing.
Now he's going to have a whole week, full reps this week, with Biotish to his right and Tyron Smith on his left. He didn't have that last week. He had split time and moving around with TJ Bass and Awesome Richards. So now
so that kind of consistency for this past week, I'm sure, is going to pay off dividends.
He should look better, even if the defensive line is just as good as the Giants.
And the way that he explained it was, quote, a lot of the same concepts, just stuff happens faster. Solari is always on me. I got to go guard and tackle. Even center, you never know. You got to be on top of it, looking in the playbook, making sure I'm on top of guard and tackle. Adding in there, he said it, you've got to be ready. And that was just in reference to, how injuries can change things very quickly, right? In the NFL, it's next man up. So you've got to stay ready for my team and the brothers next to me. Whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do it.
It's fantastic. I love it. And I think he's going to step in there and do a good job against his former teammates, playing the guard spot for the third straight time. For the third time in his career.
I think that the player we're going to see even by weeks like 7, 8, oh, man. I'm just saying, that confidence level is going to keep growing week after week.
You know what's great about this, too? This is kind of a blessing, a real big blessing in disguise, because even, again, if we can get through these games with Chuma doing what he's doing in his first game and can replicate it this week, the good news about this is we know we can count on. Now we know we can count on Chuma Edoga as depth. Like, we never had that sixth guy. Now we got a sixth guy that we can really count, especially at guard. I'm assuming at tackle he should be okay, but again, he struggled against Micah in practice, in the past in training camp. But now, at guard, he's definitely a lot better. Not sure if we feel comfortable at the tackle spot yet. It could be Awesome Richards as the set backup tackle. Who knows? But good to see and hear from Chuma Edoga after that injury he had in training camp, took him out the rest of the time. He still made the roster, and obviously a major, major piece for the Cowboys' depth on the offensive line. So any quick comments in the chat before I finish up? The final thing here I'm going to say before we call it a night here on MCF. Again, guys, we're going to try to start at 12 o'clock Eastern time, midnight more often. So try to catch us at a little bit earlier time most of the time. But I'm going to talk about the switch it around, guys. As we talk about our offense, we're going to talk about our offense versus their defense and what do we have to do in some matchups in this game. Did Chuma speak anymore? That was it.
No, that was all that he said.
Mr. Edoga, handle your business out there against number 95.
Yeah, he's busy getting ready for Sunday.
Yeah, 95 is one of the guys we're going to talk about here in a minute. But hit up the chat real quick, maybe for a minute or two, and hit up a couple comments.
Of course. First of all, shout out to the man, Snug X.
Woo.
Much love to you.
Much love. And a tie as the Cash App King with Skeptical Fan. And, currently, top 5 on the overall board over everything. Much love, Snug X.
Now, Seabass said it's crazy scary to me. Folks on this side and opposite Cowboys don't see. If this defense is worrisome, we get overshown back next year, too. A man's was eaten before he went out. Thuggin'.
I would love for all those things to happen and add in there, re-sign Stephon Gilmore. That defense stays thuggin'.
So Cam DC Farrell said, we'll be all right. A win is a win, and we will win. Hey, that's what I said. There's no asterisks or quantifiers or whatever when it comes to winning. That's it. A win is a win is a win. And of course we know sometimes things can linger, right? But overall, we just want to play consistently and win consistently too. Which is, I think that's the part we struggled with. Outside of a handful of years, we struggled with that for quite a bit.
If we can consistently not make and overextend our offense and try to shoot down the field too much, get too greedy, if we can stop that, that would lead to less turnovers on this team, fumbles, interceptions. If we can do that on offense, and on defense we stop the run, this is a real run to the Super Bowl. No joke. And you'll see this. If this is what happens with this, you see this. If we do those things, on offense that thing, and on defense that thing, if we do those two things, in a couple of weeks, everybody will be putting us in number one in their dumb power rankings. They'll put us number one as Super Bowl chances. The Vegas will say we have number one chance. I'm telling you what's going to happen. If this is real, right? We'll have to wait another 3-4 weeks. You'll see. Oh, MCF was right. Now, let's talk about some matchups. This is the last part. We talked about the defensive, our defense against their offense. Let's talk about our offense against these guys, their defense. And I'm going to start with, an important part that we just kind of touched on, which is the offensive line. You see two of our guys, number 77, of course, is playing. 73 don't look like he's going to play. If the Cowboys want to have a chance at getting the run game on going, you got to look at Tyler Biadasz, and you got to look at, right now you got to look at, believe it or not, you got to look at Chuma Edoga. Oh, there he is, right? There he is, popping through there. Yeah, Chuma Edoga and Tyler Biadasz against guys like Quinnen Williams and Quinton Jefferson. That's where that's where they're going to slow us down in the run game. So we want to get the run game going in any way. We're going to have to somehow handle the interior of the Jets' defense. And it's going to take Chuma Edoga now, Tyler Biadasz, and Zack Martin to kind of do that. So last week, Quinnen Williams played a major role. I want to take my guy out the way here for a second. As you can see, I'm talking about number 95. Quinnen Williams had a major role, guys, in helping the Jets win. And his ability to take on double teams. We talked about Hankins and Mozzie. This guy's better than both those guys. Quinnen Williams is better than both. He takes on double teams all the time, and he still gets in the backfield. He still makes plays, and of course he helps the rest of the team, his defensive line friends, get in there and do damage in the pass rush and other places, blows up the backfield. So here's the deal, guys. Biadasz. We know, listen, Tyler Biadasz is a Pro Bowl center. Mark Hosepian has said in the past it could be the lack of talent of center on the NFC, but maybe it's the whole NFL. But the point is this. We know his positives and negatives. He's a very good run blocker. He's a good pass protector. He's gotten better there. But the biggest thing he has issues with is power. Powerful interior defensive line.
So
the ones that provide
needs to build up a little bit more.
The speedier guys, the slower guys, he can deal with that. But the power guys, he has issues with. Biadasz is not known for handling powerful defensive tackles. And just so you guys know, Tyler Smith, of course, coming off the hamstring injury if he plays. If not, you got Chuma Edoga that's going to come in there and have to deal with a powerful Quinnen Williams. The Jets are going to look to attack the middle of our offensive line to try to stop the Cowboys' running game and collapse the pocket on the passing plays. These guys will be effective in the pass game as well. So we got to Zack Martin will be fine. It's going to be a colossal meeting there. But Quinnen Williams to try to pick at our team, if you want to put him in the right spot, you're going to put him between Biadasz. And you want to put him in between Chuma Edoga. You don't want to put him between Biadasz and Zack Martin. He's going to get slowed down there. So the Jets, they're going to move him around, but expect Biadasz and Chuma Edoga to have to deal with Quinnen Williams and Quinton Jefferson. These guys will present some problems for our Cowboy run game and even in the passing game as well. A very important situation for our interior offensive line. You got to see us slow those guys down. And if we do that, we can run, we can pass. It opens things up a little bit for the offense. Now, another guy that's going to have to fight this entire defense is our quarterback, Dak Prescott. All right, pass rush. Talked about Carl Lawson. Talked about some other guys out there. John Franklin Myers. Al Woods inside. Some rotational stuff there. Jermaine Johnson, who's the guy from the Last Chance U. He was a guy we kind of wanted to draft. We got Tyler Smith instead. Fantastic. Well, Dak Prescott's going to go up against this defensive coordinator of the Jets. His name is Jeff Ulbrich. And we saw him with the beard on the Hard Knocks, All or Nothing. He calls very aggressive game plans on defense. Very aggressive on defense. And he knows obviously has a very strong defensive front. This allows him to be more creative in the back end in coverage in his defense. And you saw this in this Monday night game against the Bills with Josh Allen throwing those 3 interceptions. 2 of them were deep. Allen also lost that fumble. Consistent pressure by the Jets defensive line. Jeff Ulbrich is going to bring it. Trust me on this. He's going to be very aggressive. So our offensive line's got to hold that shit down. And it's about Dak Prescott's ability to read the defense, try to figure out who's going to blitz and who's going to drop back in coverage. Something Dak's done great. In fact, one of the best, blitz quarterbacks in the NFL. He's blitzed. He's going to kill you. So, again, we'll see how often they blitz with Ulbrich. All right, Ulbrich. But Ulbrich likes to use a lot of different looks. And that's where our analytics team right now is helping out this Cowboy coaching staff and is helping out Mike McCarthy. So we'll see how that's going to be utilized. Again, the key here, if the Cowboys want to win the game, as I said before, no fumbles by the running backs or receivers or tight ends, no fumbles by Dak, no interceptions by Dak. We can do that and have a clean game. We don't need 300 yards passing. I'll take 210. I'll take 180 and a win. I'm cool with that from Dak Prescott. You guys understand? So they're going to try to get Dak uncomfortable. And again, we talked about his ability to have to read the defense. He's going to have to watch, the safety who had 3 picks, Jordan Whitehead. We talked about him yesterday. You guys have to watch number 57 on your screen on the right of Dak, C.J. Mosley, a linebacker. He's going to be reading these guys, see who's blitzing, see where they're at. But you know what the biggest thing here is, baby? Because they're going to bring pressure. They're going to blitz. We don't have to blitz as much. But here's the key thing. Listen to this stat by Dak Prescott. And we touched on it yesterday. Combination of his time to throw. And now we're going to add in there some air yards, okay, intended air yards. Week 1 saw Dak Prescott releasing the ball 0.35 seconds faster, all right, and 0.44 seconds faster than his career average.
Ooh.
This is a major shift.
He's already moving. He's already faster.
This offense is flowing, at least against the Giants. His air yards did drop though. Okay, that means how long the football's in the air.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah, quicker passes, less air yards. Yep. That makes sense. So his air yards were down by almost 2 yards, 1.9 yards per average from last year. And, again, his career average, it was also 1.9 for that as well because it was 8.3 yards per. Now it's 6.4. Let me explain. In 2016, again, the yards and the air yards he had, 8.7. All right, guys, and throwing the ball in the air. In his rookie year, when he was dink and dunk, he still had 8.7 yards. The year after that, 8.4 yards and 7.6 yards. So it's dropping a little bit here, the air yards. So he's throwing it. But then when we got Kellen Moore into the mix, I guess it was 2020 we got him in the mix, I think. No, 2019, 9.4. We got a lot more air yards from Dak. But we already talked about this, right? I get 8 average of 8 air yards per throw in 2021. I'm sorry, in 2020. And in 2021. In 2022, 8.3 yards last year. That, again, let me reiterate, that is also his career average, 8.3. So when you add it all up, guys, this first week, he only had 6.4 yards, air yards. That's almost 2 yards, 1.9 yards less every throw in the air. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing on this. That this has nothing to do with the yak yardage, but we know that would actually, we need to get better on that just on the basics there. We'll talk about that probably a little more tomorrow. But those yards after catch are major. But this is not measuring that. This is just measuring from Dak's hand to the receiver's hand, and it stops. And that means that we're not getting a lot of yards from Dak in the air. Why is that? That's West Coast offense. That's Texas Coast. You know, I've been telling you guys this for a while. It's the quick throws. The quick throws. It's going to be 6 yards. That's it. You know what, though? On a first down, instead of running for 1 yard, we're getting 4 or 5 or 6 yards on a quick pass. That's the game plan. I've been saying that from the beginning, and it happened week 1. And I think it's going to continue to kind of be in this range. It might be a little more, a little less throughout the year, but that's going to be in that range. And by the way, the Jets, when it comes to their pressure on us, again, let me reiterate. Listen to this. 2.88 was that's how long it took Dak to release the ball in his rookie year. All right? In 2017, 2.82. Same thing in 2018. 2019, 2.88 seconds. So he's basically in the same range for 4 years. 2020, COVID year, he was 2.77 again in that similar range. In 2021, 2.75. In 2022, it dropped a little bit, 2.72. That was as low as he's ever released the ball was last year. 2.72. Now it is at 2. Whoa. Woo. Much love, Traveling Fools. Back as a member here.
Yeah, dropping his membership message.
That's right. I shouted him out, by the way. Traveling Fools, appreciate you. He's one of the people that rejoined on his own after getting gifted the membership. Appreciate the man, Traveling Fools. Check out his channel, guys. Pretty cool little site he's got there on YouTube. And what did the man say? I guess, what did he say?
A
with
classic
his message.
Go Cowboys.
Oh, hell yeah. Even
Thank
though
you, Traveling Fool.
I know he's not a Cowboy fan, but we'll just say Go Cowboys.
No, said Go Cowboys.
Yeah, all right, good.
That's a universal
it's always
thing
on
here.
this channel.
If you open a translation app and you start typing whatever, it tells you what it is. Like, you say whatever you want. It all ends up becoming Go Cowboys.
Yeah, he said he's a Dolphins fan, as you can tell in the chat. So much love, though. Appreciate you, man, and I hope you are hanging in there, brother. Well, we're just doing our thing here on this side of the microphone. Now, I will say, when it comes to, again, I don't want to get too convoluted in this, but Dak Prescott went from 2.72 seconds to release the ball last year to 2.37 seconds. Again, guys, 0.44 seconds. I'm sorry, 0.35. So that's a third of a second faster. That is a lot faster in these terms. And again, almost half of a second faster than his career average for Dak Prescott at 2.37 seconds. Just one game, of course. Hugely, tiny sample size here. But this is the whole game plan from McCarthy. You guys feel me here? The offensive game plan for our team. This is what we got to do. So when you hear about one of the matchups here is Quinnen Williams and, Mosley, these guys with the linebackers, but the Dak has to read them quick. Yeah, he's got to read them quick. Yeah, he's got to worry about getting the ball out quick because they're going to be coming. Guess what? That's what this offensive scheme is made to do. At all times, not just against the Jets or the Giants. At all times, it's quick, fast-paced. Now, I do think the 6.5 or 6 point whatever yards here, 6.4 yards per air yards, those will stay around that range, but I think it'll get a little bit better as maybe the season progresses and we're not in a rainstorm. I think that'll get better, a little bit better.
That should help a little bit at least.
I mean, these receivers might be able to run their depths a little bit farther when it comes to these routes and make them a little crisper cuts and that kind of stuff. So we will see how this air yards works, and definitely I love the quick throws from Dak Prescott. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention here, guys, about the matchup that I think we got to watch. And you're seeing it right there with their number one player on defense, in my opinion. Quinnen Williams is up there, and so is Sauce Gardner, number one. And he's a guy, of course, whoever he's going to be on, I'm going to be honest, guys, whoever he's going to cover, whether it's Michael Gallup, Tolbert, Turpin, whoever it is from our receivers, he's going to shut them down. He's going to shut any of those guys, Michael Gallup, he will probably shut them down or keep them very quiet in the game. The only guy that might make a little bit of noise, of course, number 88 for our team, CeeDee Lamb. But it also means that CeeDee was not going to have, I don't think, as great of a game if Sauce Gardner is covering him. Now remember, Sauce is an outside guy most of the time. So again, he's 6'3", 200 plus. I'm just saying this guy is very long, but he's very fast, and natural instincts for a guy that big is crazy. So that's a matchup. I don't even want to. I don't have to really bring up CeeDee Lamb versus Sauce Gardner. So in reality right now, this final matchup, it's more about who they match up with. And let me explain. So whoever Sauce Gardner is covering, let's take that player out the mix for a minute, all right? Brandon Cooks will play, will not play, is questionable. Let's just say he doesn't play. Whoever Sauce Gardner is going to be on the outside is going to be taken out the game for just those plays. And let's say CeeDee Lamb gets taken out a lot of those, right? I do think that with Michael Gallup going up against the other guy on this list here, which is the other cornerback, DJ Reed. DJ Reed is going to be a guy I think we need to key on as their right cornerback. Now, of course, nickel cornerback is Michael Carter II. So, he'll be trying to take out, if Brandon Cooks is there, he'll be there. Turpin might get some snaps there. Tolbert is going to play on the outside. So it could be Tolbert. It could be Michael Gallup, probably Michael Gallup most of the time, against someone like DJ Reed. Now, I will say one last thing. CeeDee Lamb in the slot, all right, against their nickel cornerback, Michael Carter, number 30. That's an advantage for the Cowboys. I think you're going to see a lot of CeeDee Lamb in the slot and getting him open instead of being fully covered and locked down. If he goes on the outside, he's got to go against Sauce Gardner. You know what I mean? So Sauce will take CeeDee Lamb out. If we want to use CeeDee Lamb in this game, I mean, not just for him, but opening up other guys, you want to put him in the slot. And you make him go up against Michael Carter, number 30. But we'll probably expand on that a little bit tomorrow. If CeeDee Lamb's on the outside, is he over Sauce Gardner? If he is, then we got to see Michael Gallup getting targeted sometimes against DJ Reader. DJ Reader is the other cornerback. He is number 4, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks, if you recall him. All right? And again, with one of their best young cornerbacks in the league, when Sauce Gardner, number 1, taking out whichever of the two guys are not there, Gallup or CeeDee Lamb. Their best matchup for the Cowboys is try to attack, not number one, maybe on short slants and stuff like this, like Stephon Diggs did, but mainly you want to really take some chances to attack a guy. You got to attack number 4, DJ Reed. He's going to be the crucial piece we have to kind of look at. Number 4 for the Jets. The Jets' decision to leave Gardner on one side of the field means the Cowboys, we will take some shots at Gardner, maybe some slants, some quick throws, but we will look on focusing, I believe, to attack DJ Reed. And you know who did this? The Bills, literally last week, attacking DJ Reed multiple times and with success. So again,
obviously that instinct is probably the correct one.
You don't want to mess with sauce.
That obviously you saw it happening live and in action, and oh shit, it worked.
Listen, Stephon Diggs did eventually get some good yardage on Sauce Gardner, but it took some time. You have to really work for it. And my point is, we will probably do that with CeeDee Lamb on the outside. But I also suspect that we'll use CeeDee Lamb inside, working the nickel, and using Michael Gallup when he's not going up against Sauce Gardner. I think that you're going to see the Cowboys really trying to attack their other cornerback. And that's how good Sauce Gardner is, and that's also how I would say a little above average, maybe average, DJ Reed is. So keep this in mind, guys. The Bills did it, and they had a lot of success. The Jets will most likely slide. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do here. They're going to slide a safety over to protect DJ Reed. You guys feel me on this? So he's going to be almost, whoever he's covering is almost like a double team, high and low kind of coverage there, right? So they're going to probably slide one of their safeties. Their free safety is Jordan Whitehead, who had 3 picks last week, right? And their other safety is Tony Adams, who I said you attack him. So we got 2 guys on our radar. Tony Adams, number 22 at strong safety, and number 4, DJ Reed at right cornerback. That to me is where you attack. Whatever combination of guys they put on you, that's fine. I don't have that much fear on those guys. If you have Gallup, if you have CeeDee Lamb, and they're covering you with 2 different guys, attack them over attacking Sauce Gardner. Because Sauce Gardner will create issues. If you throw the ball a little bit off, it could be a little bit of pick 6 right there for the Jets. So we want to make sure we avoid mistakes. And I think McCarthy's going to want short passes, quick passes to Sauce Gardner's side, and we can take more chances on DJ Reed's and Tony Adams' side. You guys feel? I hope everyone's following me here.
Yeah. By the way, Kenzie Ben said, I feel bad for Dallas Cowboy fans that didn't come across this YouTube channel. So,
thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that. Lovely comment. And yes, guys, if you didn't already know, we're live pretty much every single night talking Dallas Cowboys, the news, the info, the updates, our thoughts, your thoughts, everything in between. Yep,
guys, appreciate everybody hitting that like, subscribing, newest to the lowest, to the oldest members here. Again, subscribing wise, we're at 27.9K, guys. Almost on the cusp of 28,000 family members. Can't do this without you guys, so appreciate every single one of you guys. So finishing it up, baby, I'm kind of done now. We're calling it a night here. We're going to shout out everybody and the champions on our board and the leaders and all that good stuff. But as we end this thing tonight, guys, just wanted to say, in this Texas Coast offense, CeeDee Lamb, if Brandon Cooks plays even better, if he doesn't, we still got Gallup, Turpin, Tolbert, and a couple others. I'm sure we could, maybe even Jalen Brooks, who knows, that will come in there and pick up the slack. The Cowboys, I think, here, with CeeDee Lamb leading the way, of course, will be able to, if we can get quickly off the line of scrimmage, I think the Cowboys will have a good chance to keep the chains moving, quick passes, take it deep when you have to against DJ Reader, and, make the Jets' best cover cornerback and Sauce Gardner a non-factor. Let him take out one of our guys, pick on the other guys. That's the key here, in my opinion. So, we'll see what happens, guys. I think that's a pretty decent breakdown. Tomorrow we'll have some more kind of details on things when it comes to maybe some mismatches, some weaknesses, some important things to watch out for, some overview stuff for this preview for tomorrow, for the game. Well, it's officially tomorrow here on our side, but for the game on Sunday against the Jets, the second game, the later game of the morning/afternoon. So again, I'm looking forward to this thing in a big way. And I'm looking forward to going against this defense. You don't have to go crazy and attack it in their best spots. We can take what they give us. And then when we have a chance to take something bigger, attack the right guys. That's the key, in my opinion, to getting that dub. And a big W, not just like a 1-point win. Or, no Zerline so they missed the kick or some shit. No. I'm talking about putting this thing to bed early and keeping their your foot on their throat and ending this shit quick. I'll tell you about it tomorrow, what we need to do, what we need to avoid. Truly keys to victory right here. your guy, your girl, MCF, MCW. So let's get a couple comments and some shout-outs, baby, as we wrap it up tonight. I do want to shout out the people that dropped the love tonight. Haley94 Ware and Calvin Richard with a couple drops. Thank you guys for repping it here on my Cowboys family.
But yeah, let me go ahead and do some shout-outs here.
Yeah, and of course
some
comments.
Of course. A Skeptical Fan said, I don't want Dak squeezing his passes.
Exactly. We don't want the tight coverage stuff. Don't want to test them against this defense. Not that we're scared. It's called smart.
No, but again, going back to that Giants game, was there any reason at all to start slinging the ball, to start breaking out some of those trick plays, to do literally anything other than what we did?
That's what I'm saying. Kellen Moore would have tried to force the ball in the rain. That's his scheme. You got to do it instead of McCarthy's IQ. Smart offense. You let everything happen, and we win. And I think we're going to do something similar this week against the Jets. It's got no turnovers, but there's no rain, and I think we'll see a crisper offense this week, even against a tougher defense.
I agree. So Mr. Rice said it. I've been here since the beginning.
Yeah, he's a OG. Appreciate everybody, though, new and old school.
So, yes, Tommy Montoya. Sauce definitely has a long reach.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 205 pounds, something like that. A big guy. Big guy, has the length and ability and natural. I mean, you don't want to test him. I don't care how good your quarterback is.
Kind of rolling back a little bit more. Let me see here. Traveling Fools, of course, thank you. Fuego 2.0, Cam. We have C. Bass in the house. Rolando Rodriguez said, the Cowboys need to stack the line. 4 linemen, 3 linebackers just for the Jets. They can't pass up and bring up the safeties to stop the run. Go Cowboys. It's America's team.
Oh, well. And I also have much love, by the way, for those drops of knowledge in the chat. And I know you got a couple more to do as we're doing some shout-outs, but I do have a couple of updates here on some drops of love I did not shout out. And I hope that he's still in the house. Our current Cash App King for not 4 weeks anymore, baby, but 5 straight weeks. Snug X dropping that 5 on it.
Woo! And he said, go Cowboys.
I let the wife read that one if she wanted to.
Always go Cowboys.
Always go Cowboys. Much love, Snug X. And then, if I'm not mistaken here, Snug dropped another 5 on it. So even though, look, much love to Snug X, who's now, I'm thinking he's in second place. I have to double check that, but Snug X moving up the board with 2 $5 hollers in the Cash App. But you know what he does with this, though, baby? He takes over the crown. Skeptical Fan, takes the L on that side of things. Snug X, 5 in a row, 5 weeks in a row. He put 5 on it. Will he get 6 and beyond? Right now, it's a very close call because in first place, the leader, David S. And David S. right now, I would say he has a 31-point lead on Snug X. So if Snug wants to go for that 6 in a row, it's got to be that 31 and beyond, right? So again, or beyond, I guess you could say. Skeptical Fan, a great run. Much love to the man staying skeptical. Snug X, the king of the Cash App this week. In second place, too, David S., who's currently leading the entire board for this week. Of course, you see Brandon James over there representing with 79 points. Just, there it is. That's why. That move real quick. John Montgomery dropping that 5 on it. Much love to Mr. John Montgomery, who's also at the top of this board. What did he have to say, baby, with that $5 holler?
Oh, he said, good to see y'all again. I feel a victory by 7 on Sunday. Go Cowboys.
By 7? Oh, by 7 p.m. Yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, we're almost there, guys. Much less than 48 hours.
By 7 isn't like by a touchdown.
I thought you said,
No, I'm just saying, I think you could take that either way.
Yeah, by 7 p.m. Sunday or by
either
7 points.
Either a victory by 7 p.m. or, hey, we're going to win at least by a touchdown. So.
Well, John Montgomery actually boxes out Snug X there. I'll keep it,
And thank you, Skeptical Fan. Much love. He said, I don't mind losing to Snug.
Snug with the win there. But again, Skeptical, always staying skeptical, always in the running on things here. Appreciate you, sir. And that Snug, was that the Snug X jump there? Initially, baby, he had jumped over John Montgomery, but that drop by John, I don't know how he knew this, but John Montgomery slid past Snug X back into third place. So Snug goes from 4th to 3rd to 4th after those drops. He's still second on the Cash App to the overall leader, David S., who's not the Cash App leader only, but the overall leader as well. Much love to him. And can't forget, baby, the sponsor of the week, all the way from Hawaii, which is like prime time for us when we go live. Much love to Mark Hovsepian.
A big mahalo to you, Mark.
Yes, Mark H, Hawaii Mark, whatever you call him. He's the man, and he has interesting and valid perspectives on things that half of it we agree with, the other half we also kind of agree with to an extent. So it's always great to have great conversation with all the best family members here on MCF. All you guys in the chat talking, all you guys dropping the knowledge, the love, whatever it may be. Can't do this without your guys' love and support. Any last comments in the chat, baby? I don't know if I interrupted your shout-outs and stuff.
4213 Cowboys. Hey,
I would love that.
That's the type of energy I want to bring on.
We need to get that.
Kenzie Bands, much love to you. John Montgomery saying touchdown. Hell yeah. Tommy Montoya, take it easy. Have a great night.
Much love, Tommy.
Again, another shout-out to the man, Snug X. Appreciate you, of course.
Yes, Snug, man.
Again, skeptical fan. Truly, guys, we have such a wonderful little MCF family here, right? How many other people would lose such an esteemed position as the Cash App King? And hand it over with such grace? The skeptical fan just did.
Yeah, I mean, that was
you gotta give the shout out.
A battle there to the end, into the next week, right? Until the weekend it took. Much love. Congrats to Snug for taking that 5 straight weeks. He's going for 6. He's 31 away from going for 6. And we still got David S. in the lead. Anyways, we shout everybody out, except for the gifting membership side of things. That's been really dry this week. Interesting, because Ron the Don Smith said, I got 5 on it. He gifted 5 memberships this week. And appreciate everybody in the past has done their thing. 3 months of domination by Skeptical Fan. 5 weeks of domination with Jason Renfro. And our newest, Ron the Don is the leader, but our newest winner is De Lunatic. Much love to him, taking his first week of victory on the gifting membership side of things. We'll see the way the rest of things fall. Baby, Fan Friday is done now. Tomorrow on Saturday, we got our preview stream of this game. It takes you up basically day of game day, talk here on My Cowboys Family, the latest information. I expect Zack Martin, by the way, to be moved probably to probable. From questionable to probable tomorrow, and he will definitely play in the game. So as long as nobody has setbacks, we kind of know who's going to do this. We'll talk about it tomorrow, go through it all. I have a couple key points I want to bring up, discuss it with you guys in the chat. Probably a quicker one tomorrow, so definitely join us on the Saturday night Fire live stream. And guys, it's game day on Sunday. Cameras on, 4 p.m. Eastern. Set your times accordingly. We'll be live, ready for that. Represent that 5 and get that 6 and beyond, guys. And let's start with number 2. Right, let's go 2-0 against these Jets. So, baby,
I think we shouted out pretty much everyone. Just kind of on a roll back here. Make sure I didn't miss anybody new hopping in here. Drums and Cowboys, take it easy. No, we shouted everybody out.
Perfect. So, on that note, baby, I want you to tell me, why do we do this here on My Cowboys Family each and every night?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Oh, you know that, baby. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly here on this channel. See that star? On my chest, on your chest, on my hat, over everything. That's what we do here on MCF, on the My Cowboys Family, for 6 years and beyond. 7th football season of doing our game day live stream reactions here. Piece of our lives and our family with your lives and your families. So it's always been a great match, and we appreciate it. Almost 28,000 family members here rocking with us for the last 6+ years on My Cowboys Family on YouTube. And, of course, never forget, here, now, and forever, as always, go Cowboys! And go John Montgomery with that 5 on it. We got that 5.
Timing there.
I know. We got that 5 on it. Let's get that 6 and beyond. Much love, John. We're dropping another 5. And getting a little bit closer to Mark Hovsepian there. Not there yet, but getting closer. About 13, 14 away from Mark Hovsepian in second place, baby. What did John Montgomery have to say?
We've got to stop the run, and we will win the game if we don't make mistakes.
Facts, stopping the run. Facts, no mistakes in offense. We win.
Zach Wilson will be running for his life.
Agree.
And go Vols.
There you go. I agree. Zach. The only thing about Zach Wilson, we got to remember, is he's going to be a little quicker in trying to break that pocket, so we got to contain him a little better. That's really the only adjustment from Aaron Rodgers. Everything else, that's the only positive that they have from moving this, from having to make the switch, of Aaron Rodgers' injury. Everything else, Aaron Rodgers would dominate in. Let's just put it that way. So, exactly. John hit it on the head, nail on the head right there. Appreciate you with your insight and the love, of course, from above, getting closer. He's in third place, coming closer to second. We'll see what happens. So, baby, After we just said go Cowboys, get that 6 and beyond. Thank you guys for dropping your knowledge in the chat all night long here and letting us know your thoughts on our Cowboys. And of course, as I said before, I'm going to say it again because we got some. I added 2 new names on this list: Haley 94 Ware, Calvin Richards, Snug X, John Montgomery. Thank you guys for dropping the love from above tonight here on the channel. Can't do this without your guys' love and support. I hope we learned definitely from you guys. So hope you guys learned a little from us as we get ready for our next matchup against the Jets, less than 48 hours away. So, baby, before we can drop out, clock out for the night, relock and reload tomorrow for our preview show right here on MCF, My Cowboys Family. Let them all know what we got to do before we officially drop out of here for the evening.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. That beat now officially dropped. Thank you all for that, for rocking with us. Another one here. The news info updates. We just try to do our best and discuss it with you guys on the late Cowboy Content Creator Show right here. My Cowboys Family. Guys, thank you again. We'll be ready for that New York, the second part of Frank Sinatra, right? New York, right? Week 2. Week 1, Giants. Week 2 is them Jets. Let's go get them. I can't wait. to talk about the preview tomorrow and kind of just clear up all little last-minute information and pointers. And then let's get it on Sunday afternoon. I'm ready. You ready? Let's go, Cowboys. Another Cowboys chat in the books. A lot of question marks still. Zack Martin looks good to play. He's questionable, but it should be probable. Brandon Cooks, definitely a question mark there. Questionable. No practice this week. Donovan Wilson, doubtful. Same thing with Tyler Smith, doubtful. Not a good look there for our Cowboys on that side of things. So they probably will not play this game, unfortunately for us. So, hey, we'll get you the updates tomorrow and kind of clear up all the last-second, pieces of news before this game kicks off on Sunday. So, guys, here in MCF, never forget the navy blue, the silver to the star of everything. And as always, here in My Cowboys Family, never forget the number one thing here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone in the house with us tonight. Have a good night. Have a good weekend, kicking it off right. Stay safe. We'll see you back tomorrow for the preview stream. Hit that like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And as always, peace out, stay safe, and never, ever forget, go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat.